We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Europe at a turning point. Pro-Hamas protesters return to campuses. Apple goes big on AI and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. U.S. taxpayers are on the hook for Jill Biden being in court for Hunter Biden's trial. Taxpayers will pick up the majority of the cost for Jill Biden's whirlwind flights between Wilmington, Delaware, and France, so she could be at Hunter's side during his federal gun trial, although the Democratic Party will chip in some funds. The First Lady racked up $345,400 in flight costs, the National Taxpayers Union Foundation estimated, as she boomeranged between the United States and France last week, traveling separately from husband Joe Biden so she could support her family at home while also being in France to guide her husband on and off stage and protect him from showing how far his mental faculties have declined. The Democratic Party will repay the government for what it would cost for her to fly commercially, with taxpayers footing the rest of the bill. The euro, French banks, and other stocks across Europe fell on Monday in response to the European Parliament's rightward shift and French President Emmanuel Macron's surprising decision to hold snap elections in the country. France's benchmark index, the CAC 40, dropped 1.3% to its lowest close since February, while the euro tumbled 1% against the dollar. French banking giant Societe Generale sank 7%. Liberals are worried that a right-wing upset of the status quo in the European Parliament could weaken EU economic integration efforts, risk climate gains, and force Europe to be tougher on trade, which in turn could hurt automakers and other companies that do business with China. Pro-Hamas protesters set up a new encampment on UCLA's campus Monday, leading to a police response in an effort to clear the area. Demonstrators set up tents at Dixon Plaza, where a previous encampment that lasted more than a week in April and May was located before police cleared the area and arrested more than 200 people. Protesters were also seen carrying fake bloody bodies and body parts. "We will honor all our martyrs," the protesters chanted, as they named the Palestinians who died in the war in Gaza, according to the Daily Bruin campus newspaper. The union that represents more than 45,000 dock workers at ports throughout the U.S. canceled labor talks yesterday and is threatening a work stoppage to protest the use of automated machinery, the Wall Street Journal reported. Union leader Harold Daggett vowed the group would go on strike if a new contract with the ports is not reached by September 30th, when the current agreement expires. An October strike could add another wrinkle to the upcoming presidential election and uncertainty to the holiday shopping season, which relies on goods traveling from overseas into U.S. ports. Eli Lilly and Company's experimental Alzheimer's drug, donanemab, on Monday moved a step closer to U.S. regulatory approval as it won support from an independent panel of advisors to the Food and Drug Administration. The FDA Advisory Committee members unanimously voted yes on the question of whether the experimental drug has proven an effective treatment for Alzheimer's disease in patients with mild cognitive impairment and mild dementia. In a second vote, committee members unanimously agreed that the benefits of the drug for that group of patients outweigh its risks. The FDA does not have to follow advisory committee recommendations, but it often does. Approval of the drug would bring a new treatment option to Alzheimer's patients in earlier stages of the disease. Nearly 7 million people in the U.S. are living with Alzheimer's, according to the Alzheimer's Association. Apple's AI strategy was unveiled yesterday at Apple's annual Worldwide Developers Conference. CEO Tim Cook and company unveiled Apple Intelligence, a host of AI-powered features that will debut on iPhones, iPads, and Macs this fall. The all-out AI push comes after the company initially appeared uninterested in jumping on the AI hype train and even refused to mention artificial intelligence at last year's Worldwide Developers Conference. While claiming they will protect user privacy, they reportedly stated that your phone would know all about you. The company will be integrating ChatGPT into its operating systems, but the announcement was not received well. Apple stock dropped 1.9% after the announcement. On X, Elon Musk responded that he would not allow iPhones in his company offices if Apple goes through with this plan. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.